What is going on, guys? Thank you for checking back with another TDH upload. Now I know it's been a couple weeks since I have uploaded. That's because I've been super busy with work. My contract fired back up doing the Christmas light shows with that gentleman. There was a little bit of a hold up because of the steel prices and everything that's going on here with our new administration that's running the country. There's just a lot of funky things that are going on, and it kind of kept me dry for about 3 weeks where work was just kind of at a standstill. But now the ball's rolling. I've been super busy, 6-7 days a week, not only working for Mr. James there with the Mega Light Show, but I've been doing a bunch of 1099 work for Jack's Fab, and it's really been keeping me busy. So on top of you know, getting the taxes back, and I'm still waiting on my stimulus check. For some reason they mailed it to me, but between work, taxes, and now the stimulus check, the car will be, you know, getting close to finish. So without further ado, we have a ton of parts to go over. I did film an unboxing video for my new clutch here, but I decided that I would just go ahead and film everything all in one video because it's a lot easier. So you guys can see here, got this box here. This one is my wastegate. I actually have that guy mounted on there. So got the wastegate on the manifold here. I got turbo feed line here, turbo drain, got all of the heat shielding, the proper heat shielding, so I can protect it from obviously the turbo here and the exhaust manifold. So that's all shielded. This is all shielded, and shielded. So I've got those guys on there. That is squared away. We're gonna look over here at this Exedy clutch. This guy is freaking gorgeous. Let me set you guys down real quick and open this box up. So with this new clutch kit comes new throwout bearing, clutch tool, and new pilot bearing. Obviously the new clutch is in there, and then a new pressure plate. So here's the Exedy pressure plate here. Funny story on this guy, I was not able to source this 5-puck clutch here in the United States. I actually looked all over. I was trying to get in contact with my importer. He is based out of New Zealand, and then there's another gentleman that helps me get parts out of New Zealand, and these guys were unobtainable for them. For some odd reason, there's just a hold up with, I guess, Exedy's shipment and the whole COVID nonsense. There was one place in the entire world, and they were called The Drift Shop, and they were based out of France. They had that clutch in stock along with another series from Exedy for the CA, so I was super stoked. I was a little hesitant about ordering, you know, overseas and online, but I checked around with a few people, and I ended up calling them to make sure that they were a real company, and come to find out, they're like a 5-star reputable shop over there in the France, European, and UK kind of area. So shout out to those guys. If anybody's watching from over there, thank you guys. I appreciate that. That saved me like all kinds of freaking headaches getting this guy squared away. And then lastly, you guys can see I've got a fresh turned flywheel here. This is my OEM flywheel. I've had this guy turned twice now, and I think this is the last time that I'm going to go ahead and do this. I was looking at aftermarket lightened flywheels, excuse me guys, and at the moment that was just a little bit cheaper for me to do. I had it on hand, and this allows me to get the transmission bolted up to the back of the engine and then dropping the engine in the car so we can move forward, so we can actually freaking go drive, because honestly I'm tired of working on it. This was supposed to be a seat time car, and it turned into, oh, while you have it apart, do it the right way, you might as well do this, you might as well do that, blah 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 blah. So this video is going to be us assembling this clutch and flywheel, set it up, throwing it on the back of the car here, and then we will be good to go. So without further ado, guys, let's get started. So far so good. We've got the clutch and the pressure plate on the back of the flywheel. Flywheel's all bolted up there, torqued down. Got the pressure plate bolts torqued down there. Got the old OEM Nissan throwout bearing pulled off. Got the new NSK bearing they provide you with the kit on there. Put a little bit of grease on the little pivot ball there, and just a tiny bit of grease they provided on that shaft there, so that way we don't have any issues. Now it's the fun part, is stabbing the back of this guy. Oh, and I also put the new pilot bearing in there. Probably gonna be tough for you to see, but it's in there, trust me, it's in there, the new one. So now I've got the car pushed out over there in the driveway. I'm gonna clean up my space right here, turn the cherry picker around, spin the engine around, and see if I can't stab this guy. Once it's stabbed, I will grab my hardware, bolt it up, and then we'll move on to dropping it in the car. It's gonna look so good in here. Got it chilling out here in the sunlight, teasing myself. Sweet. All right, let's do it, guys. What are you doing? What are you doing? Well, as you guys can see there, we've got the transmission bolted up to the back of the engine. Flywheel and clutch, everything's all snugged up, everything's ready to rock and roll. I was going to get ready to install this guy tonight, but I'm actually going to hold off until tomorrow morning because I'm going to go grab some dinner with my girlfriend and relax for the night. She just got off of work and she's just wanting to go hang out, so better to do this you know, on a fresh day, clear head, rested, and obviously in the daylight because it's starting to get a little dark out. But I did want to check in with you guys and bring you up to speed with this, and obviously in the morning we will be coming back out here, getting everything set up, getting that girl in there, and wiring everything up, and just kind of going through a checklist. Once we get a checklist kind of all set up and we go through everything, I can start writing down all the parts that I need, like clutch line that goes down from the clutch master to the slave. I'm going to need a power steering high pressure line, the power steering low pressure kit, power steering pot, just a bunch of little odds and ends. But I want to get the engine in there, start running my IC piping, start figuring out what I'm doing with the exhaust and all that good stuff. So getting closer little by little. Hopefully we'll have this car running within the next week or two. That's my game plan. If I can get it running, that means I can grab some axles and grab some brakes, and we could probably take it on its first test drive. So that is the game plan, guys. I will see you bright and early later. Good morning, guys. We are back out here. I've got the car pushed out in the driveway. The engine's up on the cherry picker here, and it's about ready to go in. It's going to be a little bit of a headache trying to do this by myself. So what I'm going to have to do here is roll it forward, try to pick this trans up a little bit, put something over the front of the car, try to rest it there momentarily, maybe on a block of wood or something, try to get it pushed in a little bit more, let the trans swing down in there, and then use the jack and the cherry picker to kind of swing it in there as one unit. So that's the game plan. Don't know if it's going to work like that, but it's going in either way. So we are about ready to rock and roll. I'm probably going to pull out my Sylvia lights too, pull those guys out so I don't ruin them, crush them, and then yeah. All right, let's do it. Okay, so 3 minutes, 30 seconds, engine is just about in there. All I gotta do is line up the engine mounts, and we can secure it up here, and I've got it held up here with the jack. It's already in line with the transmission mount. I just have to swap out the OEM mount, rubber mount I should say, on this guy, the cross member, and then we can secure that up and then slip these guys in. So that's what I'm gonna do right now. Get these guys in there, and then yeah, I'll check in with you guys just shortly. She's in there. All I have to do is tighten down the engine mount bolts and she is secure. The trans is in there, the X member's in there, the new bushing is in there. You guys can see it right in there. Sorry I turned you sideways, but we're all bolted up. Now it's time to do all my little odds and ends, like figuring out what I'm doing about my intake. Probably gonna have to extend this pipe 3 or 4 inches or so I can get it over here, and then maybe cut that at a little more of a 45 so that way I can fit the cone and the MAF in there. So I've got to do that. Got to clock the turbo so I can get it away from the tub, and then figure out what I'm doing about heat shielding this out from this housing there on the turbo. But we're in there, in place, new mounts. Got the wiring harness for the engine pass through. I'm gonna loom up the rest of this stuff and push that stuff through. I may end up keeping the injector resistor out here along with the igniter. I'm not quite sure yet, but I wanted to get everything mocked up before I went crazy with all my wiring and stuff. So bam, there we have it, one step closer. I'm really excited to have that in there. Now, once I get all this other odds and ends sorted, it'll literally just be plugging everything up, getting an intercooler in there, and seeing if we can't fire her up. I've obviously got to make sure that the fuel pump works back there, that Walboro 255 that I have, and you know, all the other things. But for right now, I'm happy that it's in there and it's off the engine stand. So that is that, guys. I will check in with you in just a couple minutes. I'm gonna kind of just sit down here and write down a list of everything that I need to go through and what I need to figure out. And yeah, woohoo! I'm so excited, and it looks so damn good in there, so damn good. All right, I'll see you guys shortly. Well, the car is back in the garage. We are about cleaned up for the night. I had a couple things to do after I had the engine in here. I had a little welding job, and then also I had to install a track bar for another buddy of mine on his Dodge. But we're all said and done. We are all good to go, and I am stoked that we got one step closer. The huge step, the big step, getting the clutch, getting the engine and the whole drive line into the car. Next is going to be doing a few things like figuring out what we're going to do as far as my hood dump and my wastegate tube. That guy, whether I want to run them parallel or put the dump tube into the hood dump, and then got to make a heat shield for the brake, and then start sorting out my intercooling piping and the intercooler itself. So that's going to be on the next like little list thing here. I've updated just about everything that I needed on my update list here and what I need to do for that. So I've got that guy here, and yeah, that's really about it, guys. It's pretty straightforward with this. Obviously, when I acquire some more parts and then start throwing this thing together, and then when we go to start it, I'm gonna film all that stuff and keep you guys updated, and then we're going to the track and we're gonna go drive, because like I said, I am over working on it. I want to drive. It's supposed to be a seat time car, and it's turned into one thing after another. So yeah, that's where we're at, and that's that. Thank you guys so much for watching. I do appreciate it. I'm gonna eat some pizza because I got some over here, and hang out with my new dog here. She's been doing some training, trying to get her to hang out and, you know, be, hey, stop looking at the ground. What the heck, dude? You're supposed to be doing good for the camera. Huh? Sit down. There we go. No, it's not Paul. No. Yep, she's a little knucklehead, but she's learning, and that's why we're called the doghouse, because those goofy little things. But alright, guys, thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be uploading for you guys. I do apologize that it's taking me a couple weeks, but hopefully I can get back on a little schedule here, get this thing going, then I turn our attention to the Dodge, because I got a few things coming for that. And yeah, that's that, guys. Appreciate you. See you guys in the next upload.